Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that you must never listen to this audio whilst driving or whilst operating any machinery of any kind. Nor should you continue if you are receiving medical guidance for psychiatric or schizophrenic matters. If none of that applies to you, take a moment to get comfortable, with your eyes open. Know that should something happen to this audio track, or you need to awaken for any reason from this hypnosis experience, you can do so safely and quickly, simply by counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and wide awake. I'd also like to remind you that trance is a comfortable, safe state that we enter easily and often every day. Trance is the comfortable and easy state we find ourselves in whenever we daydream, or the state that we're in when we've driven somewhere and don't remember the journey. And so now take a few nice deep breaths. Relax your shoulders. And let's begin. Have you ever been in a trance before, right now? Did you experience that state as being similar to the waking state or different from the waking state? Can you find a spot on the wall that you would like to look at comfortably? And as you continue comfortably looking at that spot for a while, do your eyelids want to blink? And will those lids begin to blink one at a time, twice, or 3 times before they close altogether? Close your eyes now, right now. Will they close rapidly or more slowly? Will they just close now, or will they flutter all by themselves first? Will the eyes close more and more as you get more and more relaxed? That's right. Can those eyes stay closed for your comfort, able to go deeper? Just like when you go to sleep. And can your comfort go more and more deeply inside, so that you'd rather not even try to open your eyes? Or would you rather really try in vain and find you cannot? And just when will you soon forget about them altogether because your unconscious wants you to dream? My voice will go with you as your mind and body become more relaxed and you go deeper and deeper into trance right now. You will remember everything that I say unconsciously, and you will forget everything I say consciously. Know that should something happen to this audio track, or you need to awaken for any other reason from this hypnosis experience, you can do so safely and quickly, simply by counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and wide awake. And as you're feeling more and more deeply relaxed, listening to the sound of my voice, just notice that any other sounds that you hear around you, like the sound of traffic in the distance or the ticking of a clock, all those sounds are there to assist you to reach a deeper and deeper level of trance, deeper than you've ever experienced before. And as you relax, I want you to create in your mind a mental image of a grand staircase. A grand staircase that either curves to the left or curves to the right. This grand staircase has a grand banister with ornate artwork. This heavenly flight of stairs has 10 steps. You are at the top of the 10 stairs. In a minute, you are going to slowly move in your mind's eye from the 10th stair to the 9th stair, from the 9th stair to the 8th, all the way down, until eventually you get to the very last stair. When you get to the bottom of the staircase, you are going to step off into a giant, restful feather bed, a place of complete tranquility and of comfort and of peace. As you relax, imagine yourself at the top of the grand staircase, moving now from the 10th stair to the 9th stair. With each slow movement from one step to the next, you become more and more relaxed. This sensation of relaxation not only doubles or triples, but is 10 times more powerful than the previous step. Now move from the 9th step to the 8th, and from the 8th to the 7th, relaxing even further, allowing your mind to drift, and relax your body. From 7 to 6, from 6 to 5. That's right, you're doing well. 5 to 4. Almost there. Quadrupling the sensation of relaxation, peace and serenity. 3, 2, 1. In your mind's eye, down on that bottom step. And with the next step, you are going to step off this heavenly flight of stairs into a state of total relaxation and comfortably rest on a feather bed or a comfortable pillow that you have created in your mind. From 1 to 0. All the way down now, totally relaxed. Opening the subconscious mind to new thoughts, to new ideas, and new experiences. There was a dog living rough on the streets. It was lean, it was hardened and muscular. The dog was known for its ferociousness. And what people did not see was how often the dog had been kicked, how often it had gone hungry, and that this dog had responded to that hard, difficult life by becoming one lean, mean, snarling and biting machine. It had no understanding that animal protection services want to help it, offer it warmth, love, care, food and shelter. Inside, the streetwise snapping animal is really a sweet, lovable, bouncy puppy who wants to be adored, who wants to play and be free to explore. But this dog is hardened to the world. This dog has learned some serious self-defense mechanisms to protect itself from danger or the things that it fears. Some of these protection mechanisms developed out of need a long time ago, and now they happen without the dog noticing. Sometimes they happen because of the dark imaginings the dog has about the world around it. It doesn't matter. This is its reality. It's hungry, it's starving, it wants a better life, and yet, when a friendly hand offers a bowl of food, the dog will instinctively bite that hand. Never mind that all the animal protection people want to do is love and nurture this streetwise dog. The dog sees people as the enemy. To begin with, anyway. It's not going to trust anyone. Instead, it's going to rely on the memories it holds and trusts, the things it has experienced, and all of its survival mechanisms from the past. The dog isn't bad. It just has a set way of responding to the world. If you put a muzzle on one of those streetwise dogs, sure, it won't bite, because it can't. Not until you take the muzzle off. Then it's really going to be set off. It'll be livid and fight. Then the dog will be angrier and more scared and ready to bite and do harm, because it is protecting itself by attacking you. If you want to stop a dog from biting, you need to rehabilitate it. You need to teach it a new way of being, not shut it down and hope for the best. You start by rehabilitating the dog and by deciding that you won't listen to its snarling anymore. Instead, you'll accept and embrace it. You'll choose to see that it's not bad. It's just the way that the dog has learned how to respond to life in a particular way, based on what it knows. It's just like your inner critic. It's not bad. It's just responding the best way it knows how. It just is. It's a part of all of us. And on this journey to love and accept yourself, then let that journey start with just accepting that the inner critic is there, no longer pushing it away. And then have the courage to believe that it can be managed, just like that dog. Behaviors and habits can change, and you are in charge of the boundaries. There was told to me by my brother's cousin an old story. I would call it a fairy tale, but this was no fairy. This was a wicked hobgoblin running amok in this tale. The hobgoblin decided to create a mirror that was special in a cruel and mean way. This fantastical-looking glass deliberately distorted everything that was kind and good and beautiful and clear, and made it appear ugly and grotesque, cruel and murky. Not only that, it mocked and minimized the good and the beautiful, so much so that you could hardly see them there. And it exaggerated, embellished, and enhanced the bad and the ugly, until they looked like the full picture. So successful was his invention, so completely flawed by their own failings and inabilities were the people who looked upon this mirror. One mirror was placed in every home, so popular they were. And so, morning, noon, and night, as people made themselves ready for the day, as they brushed their teeth, or applied makeup, or checked their appearance before bed, the people across the world were faced with their deep inabilities, and they knew them to be true, because after all, a mirror only shows what is there, doesn't it? A mirror does not distort or get it wrong, because it holds no malice, or so they believed. Spurred by the success of his invention in the world of humans, the wicked hobgoblin decided to introduce it to the heavens, where he hoped the angels, and perhaps even God, if he existed, could be deceived. And as you continue to drift on down, deeper and deeper into relaxation, so calm, so comfortable, so very, very peaceful, I'm going to present some suggestions to your unconscious mind. Suggestions which you will find acceptable, reasonable, and in your best interests, and which your unconscious mind will act upon in the future. You know all of the positive things about you, and they come easily and often to your mind. When you look in the mirror, you are reminded of how good and intelligent and easy to like you are. You recognize the great qualities that you have, and that you are beautiful inside and out. Whenever you hear the voice of your inner critic, you know that it is only a small voice wanting to protect you, and that there is a stronger, more confident part of you that can be heard too. You listen to the positive, kind, and supportive part of you. Every day, you look for ways to confirm all of the positive things in your life, and you allow that knowledge to impact positively on every area of your life. And it does, doesn't it? Because you let it be so. And you wonder how good it feels to know that it is easy to be positive about yourself and to understand what I'm saying unconsciously to allow you to make changes right now. That's right. And you can take some time to integrate this new knowledge of your inner critic being small and insignificant and protective of you into your unconscious mind, as slowly as you need to right now to make this new positive way of thinking a natural part of your mind and a credible part of who you are. When finally that aggressive streetwise dog that is yapping and biting and baring its teeth and making an awful noise that is so loud it has to be heard, so vicious he has to get his own way. When finally that streetwise dog is noticed by the animal protection services and rescued from its terrifying situation, that dog will not be allowed to bite people or other dogs anymore. It will be given boundaries, and they will work in the rescue centre to rehabilitate and love that dog. Whilst this rehabilitation happens, no matter his behaviour or how loud he barks, the dog won't be beaten. They won't starve the dog or hurt the dog as part of his recovery. The only thing that's going to help that dog that's so afraid and defensive is this: love with loving boundaries. And so it is with your inner critic. When you notice it is there, you can establish boundaries. You can develop respect. You can allow it to speak and to be heard, and you will listen to its concerns, for some may be valid, but it must not snarl or be hurtful. When it does, you can say, "Stop, breathe, I will listen to your fears, but they must be spoken calmly and with respect." You, in fearful, triggered inner critic mode, are not bad. Your critic only needs some boundaries. You can embrace this part of you and understand why it is what it is, while not letting that side of you bite and snarl and tell you unkind things. The wicked hobgoblin journeyed far and wide until he reached heaven. He was excited by his alluring plan, and encouraged more so when he looked in the mirror. He was destructive and bad through and through, and the mirror told him so. When he arrived at what he perceived to be heaven, an unseen force stopped him, and the heavy, ornate-looking glass slipped from his hands. It fell deep, deep down, and with force, and it shattered and smashed into tiny pieces. Those shards splintered and sprayed across the entire world below. Each minuscule piece was smaller than a grain of sand, tinier than a fleck of dust, and yet each piece had all the power of cruel wickedness as the entire mirror had done. As those shards rained down on the world smaller than a grain of sand, as they became lodged in someone's eye or under a fingernail, or were breathed in during a dusty storm, the person became affected by the cruel charm of the mirror. He or she would view everything as bad or ugly, would view themselves as inadequate or unable, would feel the world to be a bad, dangerous place. The hobgoblin watched this charade and was filled with wicked mirth. And so, the story goes that the wicked hobgoblin is delighted with what filled the world and what continues to fill people's minds. He witnesses thousands of capable people stopped in their tracks every single morning before they get started, as they look in their mirror and hear the call of that voice lodged inside them. You have a choice. You can dispel and dislodge the tiny fragment that casts a shadow that eclipses the light of your soul. You can recognize that it is not the whole of who you are and who you were meant to be. And now, when you are ready, we're going to take you back up the stairs. From 1 to 10, going up now to step 1, and step 2, and step 3, step 4, becoming more aware of what's beneath you, step 5, sensations returning to your body, step 6, step 7, more alert, aware of the noises around you, step 8, step 9, becoming more awake, and step 10, wide awake. And when you know instinctively that all the work is complete, you can drift out of trance and open your eyes. Wake up now. Wake up.